dedication. Recently, I was thinking about the subject of dedication in life, and I realized something, as usual. However, for me, this was a big deal. So let me set the stage a little bit here. My old self used to think that what dedication was is essentially synonymous with discipline. Now, the aha moment that I recently had regarding dedication, okay, so let me backtrack myself a little bit here. You know how it's pretty common out there in general in the world that people talk about motivation, motivation this, motivation that, and like to get yourself motivated to do this, to get yourself motivated to do that. Here's the thing. Number one, as you may or may not know, motivation in and of itself doesn't last. So it's not something that will sustainably be able to fuel your dreams, which was one mistake that I used to make in the past. Now, the way that this ties in is that I thought, misunderstood before falsely, that dedication just meant discipline. Meaning, and for me, that was synonymous with this very masculine hustle, grind, go, 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 kind of no matter how you feel type of energy, which has a place, however, certainly isn't the energy that we should be embodying at all times. If I'm being completely honest, I would also say that I don't believe it behooves any of us, that it benefits any of us to be in either our masculine only for a time or our to only reside within one side. What's the saying? Everything in moderation. Well, perhaps it's more that everything in balance. And so you don't want to reside too long in your masculine nor too long in your feminine. Maybe you spend some time here, then some time there, or maybe you do indeed find that daily balance. Regardless, I believe that the realization I had was that dedication is more about showing up for yourself every single day as you are. So the first misinterpretation that I had was that it meant showing up and kind of going hard, this hustle culture pushing mentality kind of thing. Misinterpretation number one. I would say that what I have certainly learned is that dedication is actually kind of not that. It's sort of the opposite of that in a way. Dedication, as I said, is more about showing up for yourself for whatever it is you've committed to. Let's just say, for example, for me, it's I committed to doing a year of showing up daily for YouTube. And so for me, that dedication shows up in the form of not being so, not pushing myself to make a video, instead allowing myself, like, let's say, for example, if I get up in a day and I'm supposed to make a video on that day, but I don't feel that inspiration, I don't feel that motivation. Well, the old me would have just gotten very frustrated and been like, I know I have to do this. This is so frustrating. Now, when I'm a little more forgiving with myself, which very interestingly is, so instead I'm like more gentle with myself and I go, okay, I don't feel like it right now. So let's see if any inspiration kind of hits me throughout the day. So maybe I'll kind of shift up my schedule and do something that does inspire me or does make me feel good, something totally unrelated. Maybe it's music or something else. Then I'll come back to the thing, like maybe it's making a video. Case in point, actually, tonight. For the record, I do have, as I mentioned before, quite a list of videos that I'm very excited to share with you guys. It's all of these lessons that I've been learning over the last year and a half or so, and it's quite a substantial number, I must say. There are quite a lot of these little post-its that are, and I'm getting an actual booklet for videos, so thankful to the universe for that. I have lots of ideas of things to bring to you. Again, not ideas, downloads, whatever, lessons I have genuinely grown through in the last year and a half. Coming back to the dedication thing. So my misunderstanding was that dedication was synonymous with this hustle culture, go, 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 push hard, like no matter how your body's feeling, no, you just got to get up and go. And instead, I found that what is more beneficial, I think you'll also find, is instead giving yourself a little more leeway or grace on certain days. So, for example, if you got up and you didn't feel like making a video, you give yourself the time to essentially get back into alignment, and then chances are pretty high actually that you will find something that does indeed inspire you, which sometimes takes doing something else like playing the handpan. I'm looking over there because that's where my handpan is right now. And so that was a big deal for me. So understand that number one, dedication is not only about like pushing through to show up every day. It's about allowing yourself to arrive at whatever it is that you've committed to as you are. It's about acceptance and allowance. And the other part that is really, really important about dedication, which I think is often overlooked, if I'm being honest, is your heart. Is bringing your own heart, your own flair, unique enthusiasm, whatever, to it. And as I said, I think that's something that's largely overlooked with dedication. Oftentimes when people think about dedication, they're very cerebral about it. It's like very regimented, very let's do this, let's do that, very planned. When in fact, dedication doesn't necessarily have to look like a plan, a block schedule system, if you will. In fact, one of the beautiful lessons of my life lately has been to surrender to the fact that it's not always about actively doing. That was something I was very, very locked into, for myself, this masculine hustle, grindy, every day has to be a push to get where you want to go kind of mentality. And I'm very, very grateful that I've now understood that there is a time for that. And there is also a very important time for relaxation. Some marriage of those two is dedication, showing up and allowing yourself every single day. So having that persistence, and to bring your whole inspired heart to whatever it is that you're intending to endeavor upon. Is that English? Whatever the thing is that you want to do or create, to bring your whole full heart. That's true dedication. That's really all I wanted to share, was this aha moment that I had about dedication, that essentially it doesn't have to be hard work. It can be fun and should be allowed to express, at least in my opinion. It should be allowed to express out of you in whatever form, in whatever timing. That's another thing with divine timing that we often overlook, is that occurs not just on the grand scheme of within months and years of our life. There's also divine timing within a single day, meaning if perhaps you wake up uninspired to do whatever you might have planned the day before, give yourself that grace to be in that actual day and to perhaps process through whatever it is that might need it in the morning or something, and then to feel the inspiration, to allow it to come later, to arrive later, for the divine timing to happen at a different time than you thought. So if this video has helped you, please do share it with anyone that you know that it might help. Subscribe, as that really helps out me as a small content creator, and I'd be very grateful. And last but not least, if you, my beautiful spirit soul, need any support or coaching, please don't hesitate to reach out at this email address here. It's always down in the description box below as well. So reach out if you need anything. It would be my pleasure to serve you. Have a beautiful and a blessed rest of your day or night whenever you are seeing this. And I will see you, beautiful cats, in the next video. Namaste and much love. Bye. And I that's super too, yay. So, and that's like this hustle culture. Can I words? Dedication, as I said, is more about showing up for yourself, intending to endeavor upon. Is that English? That occurs not just on the grand scheme of within months and years of our life. There's also divine timing within a single day. Is instead giving yourself a little more leeway or grace on certain days.